Unit 2 is focusing on the main characteristics or qualities of a good paragraph. We've already covered topic sentences and how important they are, but the whole paragraph should fit together and function to achieve a central aim or a purpose. These are listed on page 40. Page 42 gives a paragraph about murals, which are wall paintings, and the topic sentence suggests that this paragraph is going to explain what kind of preparation the artist needs to do before painting the big wall painting called a mural. Preparation means it's something you have to do, so starting off first in the second sentence suggests these are steps that the artist has to go through. The main point here is to realize that at the end of the paragraph you have achieved something. For example, maybe you're trying to convince the reader about something and you're going to give a list of reasons. That's one kind of paragraph that has a very clear function or purpose. But other paragraphs are a little bit looser. For example, if I'm telling a story, the final effect or result might be to create a certain feeling about that story. Another loose kind of structure is a descriptive paragraph. I'm describing a quality. Maybe I'm describing a person. If I'm describing a person, I could start out talking about his physical appearance, but I might decide to put that later. So descriptive paragraphs give you quite a bit of freedom as to how you organize them. Page 44 is discussing the person that you want to use as you are giving or narrating the paragraph. In letters, we use the first person because we're emphasizing our personal opinions and experiences. Using the second person and addressing them as you really makes it sound very talky or chatty because I'm acting like I am speaking to you. A lot of academic writing emphasizes the third person because we're trying to step back from the situation and be very objective. We're emphasizing the facts. So in this sentence here, we don't know where the author is exactly. Maybe the author's involved in this action, or maybe the author is across the street watching this happen. Element 3 is clarity, and by using very specific, precise words, we can communicate our ideas more clearly. The word good has many possible meanings, so it is too vague. Vague means unclear, but it also means too general in meaning. Exceptional, however, is more precise or specific, so it's a better word to use if that's what you really mean. Page 48 gives an example of a very general sentence that could mean many different things, so you need to try to use more specific language to identify exactly what the author might mean. Number 2 is very general. Be more specific. On page 51, we started talking about how pronouns increase the cohesion or the connectedness of our writing, and by referring back to previous reference, they're called. The second example is useful here because the pronoun it is singular, but it could talk about any single thing. It could refer to Brazil, it could refer to Sao Paulo, it could refer to world, It could refer to one of the largest cities. So in English, we have to think carefully to try to make this clear what we're referring to. Page 56 focuses on coherence, which is like unity because it means things are fitting together and emphasizing the big main idea. And in these examples, I'd like you to see how they keep coming back in their language to focus on the big point. You can try that out on page 57 when you notice how the ordering of these sentences has to go in a certain sequence because we need to know his name right at the beginning, otherwise we don't know who he is. We're going to be practicing these transition words a lot from a grammar point of view, but this box is very nice for emphasizing the actual meaning of these words. In this case, the meaning is on the left column over here to give examples, and these are the typical words that are used to express that meaning. A good example here is the word finally. Some people use finally when they really should be using in conclusion down here. So finally is always about time, first, second, third, fourth, finally. In conclusion, however, is repeating my big main idea at the end of the essay. So I'm going to give a proper conclusion now by jumping back all the way to page 40, which I should have included at the beginning, and saying that these are 5 qualities or elements of good writing, and the chapter is about ways of achieving these elements in your paragraphs. I would say unity and coherence are kind of similar because there are ways of keeping a main focus very clear in the paragraph. Purpose is a little bit harder because there's many different purposes of paragraphs, and I think 2 of the most important ones that you need to recognize are the descriptive and the persuasive, because descriptive is just giving a lot of details, information about something, but persuasive is trying to change my thinking about something, so it's giving me reasons, and the way you organize those 2 is quite different.